Although her exterior had changed, her inner energy still clung, not to a specific person, but to a pattern. The person who would come to heal me, the person who would confirm that I am enough. 𝗘𝗃𝗲 did not live in the presence of her new connections. She lived in the unconscious expectation that this time someone would act differently so that she would no longer feel that she had failed in love. She was not loving, she was waiting to be rescued. Carl Jung once said, "We do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." We reach enlightenment not by imagining light, but by having the courage to face the darkness within ourselves. And the darkness that 𝗘𝗃𝗲 had to confront was not her ex or her painful past, but the unconscious belief that she would not be whole unless chosen by someone else. That explains why all of her positive healing actions were still guided by a begging energy. It was not genuine autonomy, it was disguised control, a form of, "I will love myself as long as someone confirms that I am lovable." But energy does not operate under conditions. Your field of vibration does not care about the checklist you have completed. It only responds to the signal of who you truly are inside. And from then on, 𝗘𝗃𝗲's reality continuously reflected a single lesson. When you demand confirmation, you are emitting a vibration that I do not have enough. And the universe, as Jung pointed out, does not answer what you want, but answers you. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But if you still need someone else to confirm that, you are not truly yourself. You are only a shadow seeking an image. After that therapy session, 𝗘𝗃𝗲 did not change her strategy to be loved. She changed her mindset. She did not force herself to stop feeling. She began to observe her impulses when meeting someone new. Each time she sensed herself expecting too early, she did not blame herself but asked, "Am I loving this person, or am I waiting for them to confirm that I am enough?" And this self-awareness was the turning point of her vibration. Not loving less, not moving slower, but loving from a place of fullness. From then on, her energy no longer sent a begging signal. She was no longer on the frequency of, "Choose me so that I can be me." She had chosen herself. And when one chooses oneself, the world is no longer a place to be saved, but a place to live, to share, to shine. No chasing, no waiting, no proving, simply being present. Because, as Jung wrote in Memories, Dreams, Reflections, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. The most terrifying thing is not rejection, but daring to accept oneself fully. And when you do that, you no longer need anyone to confirm anything. You become a field of fullness, where no signal of lack resides, and that is why all you have ever sought begins to find you. Number 3. Mechanism of the inner world and Jung's analysis. When 𝗘𝗃𝗲 stopped demanding confirmation from the outside, she not only transformed her way of loving, but also entered a deeper phase. She confronted the inner mechanism truly governing her life. Because all of our experiences, whether connections, disappointments, or repeating emotional loops, originate from the psychological energy field emitted from the deepest layer of the self. In analytical psychology, Jung distinguished very clearly between desire that issues from the ego and the call of the self. When the ego longs for something not out of love, but out of emptiness, it unconsciously activates the unhealed, unintegrated parts of the mind, the parts Jung called the shadow. These parts do not vanish, just because you think more positively. Instead, the more they are suppressed, the more they manipulate the energy you emit. The more you force yourself to become what you are not, the more you become an opposite shadow of yourself, not because you are fake, but because you have not faced where desire begins, which is lack. Try stopping and thinking about yourself. Have you ever entered a room and sensed something was off about someone, even though they were smiling brightly? Have you ever heard someone claim they have moved on, but still felt a muffled sadness emanating from them? This is the phenomenon of energy, not something mystical, but a living vibration arising from a psychological mechanism. Jung believed consciousness is not only words or thoughts, but also emotionally charged images. Images accumulated in the unconscious and broadcast outward like a frequency. In Man and His Symbols, he wrote that the psyche consists essentially of images. It is a self-regulating system that expresses itself in images. Drop a like in the comments if you have ever sensed someone's energy simply by their presence. Listen on, because what you are about to realize may change how you connect with yourself. This explains why even if you say "I am fine," "I have let go," or "I feel confident," others will still sense it if the true vibration inside you is trembling. The ego may lie, but energy does not. The danger is when the ego acts from fear but attaches a positive label, such as "I am just trying" or "I am in love," then the shadow becomes truly powerful. As Jung warns, the acceptance of the shadow side of our nature is a moral problem. It is the very essence of individuation. Only when you dare to look at the vibration arising from darkness, control, fear, insecurity, do you begin the journey of individuation. A journey back to the whole self, where no part needs hiding. Individuation, according to Jung, is not becoming a better version of oneself, but returning to the center of the self, where all the fragments inside you are seen and reunited. When you still emit a vibration born of lack, you operate from the unhealed ego. But when you live from the center, from the self, you no longer need control, persuasion, or pursuit. You simply exist with inner richness. Then you no longer emit the signal to come to me so that I can feel complete, but you emit a silent field: I am myself, and I am enough. Are you living from the center of your being, or are you sending out a signal begging someone to confirm you are worthy? Share in the comments, because that awareness is the first step to shifting the vibration you carry. There is a subtle truth Jung recognized early on. Others do not love you for what you do. They are drawn by the energy field you do not realize you are radiating. If that field issues from unintegrated darkness, you will attract people who activate your wound, not to punish you, but to invite you to look more deeply at what needs healing. In Aion, Jung wrote that the self is not only the center, but also the whole circumference, which embraces both consciousness and the unconscious. The self is not only the center, but the totality, embracing both the light and the darkness within you. So if you ever wondered why you keep meeting the same type of person, or why you feel misunderstood even though you tried so hard, the answer may lie in the frequency you emit, not in what you think about yourself. Only when you dare to turn inward, not to hide or fix, but to integrate every part of yourself, will you enter the state Jung called the wholeness of the self, the state where you no longer need to send a begging signal, because you are transmitting the truth. Are you ready to return to the center of yourself? If so, comment a single word: present.